Hello. Hola, hola, ¿cómo están? Have you guys ever wondered how much content creators, influencers are making on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook? Well, yo les voy a chismear how much I am making. Yo también soy súper chismosa when it comes to esos topics. I do want to say que estos son mis números, ¿ok? No son de nadie más. Estos números son míos. Obviamente para cada persona puede ser súper diferente. Y a lo mejor mis números no van a ser los números de otra persona. Let's keep that in mind. Estos van a ser mis números, mis analytics y todo. Obviamente a otra persona que a lo mejor tiene súper menos que yo o más que yo, pues van a ser diferentes números y diferentes dinero. I also want to emphasize that I monetize on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and I'm going to be giving the numbers in that order. So I'm going to go TikTok first, Facebook, and then Instagram. But also I want to emphasize on TikTok, I have 74.7 thousand followers. You only need 10k to monetize on there. Went from like 10k, 20k, 40k. Right now I'm at 74.7k. Hopefully at the end of the year there we reach 100k. Si no, no pasa nada, but that would be really nice. Hi, if you're new here, mi nombre es Ancla. I started making content in 2023. Mi contenido es señora joven viviendo en Mexico. I'm Mexican American, but I got married to my husband who lives in Aguascalientes, Mexico. And basically I started making content because of that. I had nothing else to do. Me había casado. I had no job. I was just a stay-at-home wife. So I picked up my camera, mi teléfono, y mi tripod y comencé a grabar mi vida. Mi contenido es señora joven vibes, morning routines, day in my life aquí en México, decorando la casa, a veces haciendo recetas de comer, a veces figuring everything out, recetas nuevas, cómo cocinar, cómo limpiar, cómo hacer muchas cosas que pues no sabía antes hacer. Entonces mi contenido es mucho de eso, es videos de limpieza, resets, vlogs de que ir al mercado, que ir al centro, que ir al tianguis. Me encanta. Antes de mudarme a México, I'm such a big thrifter. I've always been such a big thrifter. And moving to Mexico, there's no thrift stores here in Mexico, but there is tianguis, which is basically the same thing, pero diferente nombre, right? Ese es mi tipo de contenido que yo subo y he creado contenido desde el 2023. Como les dije, comencé a hacer contenido porque cuando yo me mudé a México, my plan was to get like an online remote job and nobody was hiring me. What do I do with myself? So I remember I would watch a lot of TikToks. It was like my comfort app at the time. Pues comencé a subir videos. Literalmente mi teléfono, mi tripod, que habíamos comprado un tripod para la boda to live stream our wedding. That's literally what I used. Teléfono y un tripod. Y comencé a grabar vlogs. Recuerdo que mi primer video que subí nomás puse como stay at home life, algo así, and I didn't do so well, pero ya cuando hice un video así como morning routine as a ama de casa viviendo en México, it kind of blew up, and en un día creo que agarré 10k followers. So comencé a subir en TikTok y todo eso. Rápidamente pude comenzar a monetizar en TikTok. So es lo que vamos a hablar, ok? Primero vamos a hablar de la aplicación. La primera aplicación, the first app that I started monetizing on was TikTok. Like that is the first app I started monetizing on. And as you can see, I have all the numbers written down here. So vamos a comenzar a hacer eso. One thing though about TikTok I do have to say is that obviously there's requirements. When I first started monetizing on there, I didn't know what I was doing. I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything. I just knew that once you reach 10k you're able to monetize. Right now I think they have like TikTok Shop and other programs. I think they just started the traveling program where you're able to travel to different hotels and get paid, all of that. I'm not really familiar with that. I also do TikTok Shop, and I just started making TikTok Shop last year, I think. I don't really like to sell a lot of things. I'm really bad at selling things. Basically just stick to, yeah, just like normal monetization. I started monetizing in 2023. Eligible to monetize around January, February of 2023, but I didn't know how. I didn't know what I was doing, like I said. I didn't know that your videos had to be 1 minute long in order to qualify for the pay. So your girl was making videos, tons of videos, pero no me pagaban because they were not 1 minute long. So imagine doing 6 months, more than 8 months of like free, like you know, I would do them and I would not see a paid. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But I didn't know anything, okay? Super new to it. I didn't know anyone who monetized on TikTok. I didn't know anyone. So no sabía that you had to, in order to monetize on TikTok, it had to be 1 minute long and YP page or something like that. I didn't get my first pay till months after. In November 2023, I got my first payment from TikTok and I made $80.02. I was over the moon. I was like, no puede ser posible. Like, that's crazy. To be honest with you, on TikTok, payments vary, okay? They vary, at least for me. I'm talking about me, okay? So the pays that I've gotten, it varies every single time. Sometimes you'll have really good views on TikTok and sometimes you won't have really good views. I know the algorithm sometimes hates me, and payment is completely different. There's been months where I've gotten paid $13, $80, $271, $96, $24. It just varies. It's never like fijo. Nunca es fijo como this is how much you're making. Like, it varies. My highest paying video that I've ever gotten was $1,000 and up. Okay, it was 1,000 something. It was my first video and it was after like my fourth payment. Like, my fourth payment on TikTok was $1,000 something. I was over the moon, shooketh in life. I was like, there's no way. And I remember I would see that video. It's one of my biggest videos. I think it has like right now 3 million views on it. I was like, there is no way. Like, I think I'm being scammed or no me van a pagar eso. It was crazy because that was my biggest payment video so far, this far. For that payment, I got $1,184. They did take a chunk because TikTok does take a chunk. So it was a lot more than that. It was almost 1,500, I think, or more, but taxes. That's something to keep in mind, taxes, okay? TikTok payment varies every single month. I know there's people who like are TikTokers full time and they do this for a living. I don't know how they do that because it varies. Or at least for me, like I said, a la mejor nomás soy yo, but it varies. Like I said, me han pagado $13 en un mes. TikTok pays every 15th, so una vez al mes. I wish it was bi-weekly or weekly, imagine. Estuviera súper bien. Pero no. I know TikTok Shop, from what I've heard, they pay you like the next day or something, and lives also, but the regular creator program that I'm in, that TikTok has, it's every 15th. If you know, you know. See, hay mucha gente que they know on the 15th is TikTok payday. There's been months where I've made $800, $795, $422, $241, $512 in that month. And obviously to me, it's a big, it's like nice. It's nice to have money to go buy groceries and to go to comprarte un cafecito. Like, todo es bienvenido. Para mí, todo es bienvenido, and I'm always forever grateful for everything. But for the past 20 months, and I've written literally everything down here, for the last 20 months on TikTok, I have made $4,646.79. I didn't include the tax. I know people take off, obviously they take off tax. I'm sure with like tax included, it's probably like 5K, but I'm literally I wrote down, because I went to my PayPal account and I went like through every transaction, literally every transaction here, because you get paid on PayPal. $4,646.79 for the last 20 months on TikTok. That's what I have made. Last year I started posting on Instagram. I never really wanted to post on Instagram because, you know, those family members that we don't really talk to, people that on high school that we went to, college, que ni les hablamos, but there we have them. Ahí están, right? So I remember I just wanted to, at the time, just post on TikTok. I always felt like really safe on TikTok and everything. But one day when my video blew up with 3.4 million views on TikTok, I was like, let me just start posting also on Instagram. So that's what I started doing. I started posting my life last year, barely last year, in 2024. So TikTok happened for me in 2023 and Instagram happened for me last year. I started posting on there. I only had like 1,000 followers on there or so, y ya comencé a subir mis videos. Literalmente los videos que hacía de TikTok ya comencé a subirlos, uno de ellos, uno que tal, no todos, nomás unos subía a Instagram. At first I used to care a lot, like no manches me van a ver mi vida, people are gonna see everything, y me daba como un poquito de miedo until I got over it. Like, Being in the era que no te importe, it's the best era to be. At least for me. A mí me encanta just post and that's it. No me importa. No me importa. And it's a great era to be. And a lot of people that I've talked to, they're like, I want to post my life too, que no sé qué. And I'm like, I think you just have to really be in that era where you don't care. I think in my early 20s, I really cared what people think. I really cared, like, no manches me van a ver. Like, I was just such an overthinker. Sometimes I still overthink things, but not as deep as in my 20s. In my 20s, my early 20s, me importaba mucho lo que pensaba la gente, what were they gonna say, what are they gonna think. And now, like, I just, no me importa. I think it's ever since I got married, like, I got into that era where I'm like, oh, I don't care. I'm living my best life. No me importa. Instagram. So comencé a postear on Instagram last year in 2024. I only had 1,000 followers. I went from 1,000 followers to, I think in 1 month, 20K. Right now we're almost at 50K followers, which is crazy. Yo todavía ni me la creo. I'm gonna reach 50K. Voy a celebrar, no sé qué voy a hacer, pero I think I'm gonna go to a cute coffee shop and celebrate. So on Instagram, yo no moneticé nada for the first year, for last year, nada. And I heard that on Instagram it's by invitation only. I just got invited this year. Okay, we're gonna come back to Instagram. Let me go on Facebook. I didn't know this, but when I would upload videos on Instagram, they would upload them to a business page that I had on Facebook. That was by accident. It wasn't on purpose. I had like a business page. So I made a platform that's called Angela, and I didn't know, but it was linked to my Instagram. So when I started posting on Instagram, the videos would automatically upload to Facebook. And I remember one weekend I uploaded a video on Instagram, right? I remember my Facebook started like bling, 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 like just going and going. And I'm like, what's going on? I was seeing a bunch of Facebook notifications, but I ignored it. I was like, oh, it's okay. It's nothing. On Monday morning when my husband se fue a trabajar, I made breakfast, I sat on my couch and I got my phone and I opened Facebook. Bling, 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 like notifications of people just commenting and following me. And I think in one day I got like 10,000 followers in one day or more. Right now on Facebook, I am at 48,000 followers. Last time I checked was 48,000 followers. I didn't know this, but you're also able to monetize on Facebook. And yo no sabía eso. Who knew that? Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. Yo no sabía. So, entonces, subía videos y haz de cuenta que a mí me ahorra mucho tiempo porque haz de cuenta cuando subo un video a Instagram, automáticamente pues me lo sube a Facebook. So, it's perfect, right? Like, a mí no me cuesta nada, o sea, está linked y todo. I reached 10K, I was able to monetize really quickly, and I'm just gonna go over. I'm barely monetizing, ni he cumplido un año de que he monetizado en Facebook. Apenas llevo 11 meses, and here is todos los números. I wrote them down, like I said, todos estaban en mi PayPal because you get paid through PayPal, so I just went over the notes. Talk about mi primer pago. Mi primer pago de Facebook eran $6.96. Eso es un café de una cafetería. If you like Starbucks, para un Starbucks, para un Dunkin'. Eso, ¿quién te iba a regalar? O sea, ¿quién me iba a regalar $6.96? Nadie. A mí nadie me los iba a regalar. Nadie, nadie, nadie. I saw it and I was like, oh my goodness. And then the numbers started increasing. Meses que he hecho $6, $118, $109, $194. I just changed to English, sorry. $194, $224, $158, some days $5.92, $153.82. So a total I have made for the last 11 months, Facebook, I have made $1,486.64. Otra vez, ¿quién me iba a regalar $1,000? Nadie. Nadie me los iba a regalar. 1,486. Nobody was gonna give me that money for free. No one was gonna be like, oh, here you go. No one. And that's amazing. Like, that to me is a lot. And I've noticed that recently Facebook is paying a little bit more than TikTok. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's just my numbers. Maybe it's no sé. But that's basically how much I have gotten paid. Going back to Instagram, like I said, Instagram is through invitation only, which is weird. But I think with the Reels thing, everything is gonna change right now because Reels are just becoming really popular. I got an invitation 6 months ago. I want to talk about how much I've gotten paid. I honestly don't know how it works. I don't know if it works for views. I don't know if it works, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know what's going on. And TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram is very different. Facebook, I think you're not allowed to use music in your videos because then you have to pay the artist. You know, the licensing thing. Honestly, I don't even know how it works. I need to do my research a little bit more on that, and I will let you guys know qué onda con eso. But on TikTok, you're able to use like any sound, you know, that you don't have to pay the person, the artist, or anything like that, which is pretty cool. On Facebook, you do. And I think I have gotten flagged many times because I've used music, which is like, pues yo no sé, right? I don't know. No sabía. So I try not to use any sound on Instagram and Facebook because of that. Going to Instagram. I started monetizing 5 months ago. My first payment was $5.88. Again, ¿quién me iba a dar $5.88? Pues nadie me lo iba a dar. Nobody was gonna give that to me. We're grateful here for everything. Like I said, I don't know how it works. I don't know if it works for views. I don't know if it works, no sé. I don't know. But then after that, on 1 month, or I think, it's because the thing is, I'm still not sure about Instagram, a lot of things, because I have gotten like payments like twice a month or every week, or like I've gotten payments like pasa una semana and I get like my invoice of how much the payment. So I don't know how it's working. I need to do my research on that too. But I've gotten 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 payments, but I've only been monetizing 6 months. So I think I've gotten like double payments. Pero nomás como ahorita cuando escuchen los precios se van a ir para atrás because I don't know. Okay, my first payment I got $5.88. The second payment I got $7.20. The third payment $2.23. The fourth payment $1.48. One payment I got 1 penny. Next payment $3.54. The next payment 7 cents. The next payment, my last payment, $3.59. The total of $24 for that whole payment. I don't know why I got paid that much. I don't know. Okay, I'm super new to this. If you are monetizing on Instagram and you know any of this more than I do, please comment and tell us por qué or how. But I've also heard from other content creators that Instagram pays terrible. I've heard that from a couple videos on YouTube that I've seen, that Instagram is like the worst app to get paid on because pues no paga muy bien. Entonces, pero ¿quién me iba a regalar $24? Nadie me iba a regalar $24. So here in this page somos agradecidas con cualquier cosa, ya sea $20, $5, $3, hasta un penny. Es bienvenido aquí. Okay, so eso es lo que yo me he ganado. I'm a micro content creator. I'm not big. People have asked me like, what do I do for a living? Do I do content full-time? Personally, me, I don't make content full-time because as you can see, it's not very consistent. There's months where it's super good. There's months where it's super low. Así, so como que se varía, it just varies. Obviamente pues yo no podría ser creadora de contenido full-time. But algo que sí puedo decir is that something that helps content creators like myself is brand deals. O sea, estas son las monetizations que pagan las plataformas. These are the monetizations that the platforms pay. But what also helps is brand deals. Brand deals. And I just want to give a shout out to God because God nunca me ha dejado este año. Okay, ever since 2025 started, there is not a month where your girl has not had a brand deal or a paid collab. And I just want to give a shout out to God because that is all God right there. God has really like come through for me. Brand deals are good and gracias a Dios. So siempre hay trabajo. Gracias a Dios. But this is not my job full time. I just do this as a side fun hustle. Me encanta. I love creating content. I love and seeing when you see the money, you get motivated. You're like, oh my goodness, yes. And there's been months that I'm just like, wow, like my content didn't do so well. And sometimes te puedes desanimar. Es normal, right? Es muy normal que te desanimes. Pero también me tengo que recordar, me encanta hacer contenido. A mí me encanta la fotografía, me encanta videography, me encanta aprender, me encanta todo eso. But that keeps me motivated. Also, I love that I'm like documenting my life. And as of now, ahorita mi meta es to comenzar a monetizar también en YouTube. So, cuando comienzo a monetizar en YouTube, también les haré un video. I will make a video on how much YouTube is paying. But as of now, I'm just monetizing on those 3 platforms. And to be honest with you, I never thought of doing YouTube before. But I'm challenging myself. I'm challenging myself porque siento que por mucho tiempo I'm just kind of been like, bien confortable. Now I'm challenging myself to grow on YouTube, to monetize, learn. Y siento que I want to monetize on YouTube just to see cuánto se gana. I'm like 700 something followers away from reaching 1K followers. I need 4,000 hours para poder monetizar. Así que si estás viendo este video, quédate hasta el final para que pueda yo agarrar esas horas y poder comenzar a monetizar. Yo me despido de ustedes. Thank you for watching this video. Give a like, subscribe y pues si me informo cuánto se gana en YouTube, también les haré un video así. Pero los veo hasta la próxima. I'll be uploading more videos on YouTube just because I feel like aquí sí puedes como hacer un video súper largo. YouTube es más relajado, like you're able to go as long as you want. Bueno, no tanto, pero sí, you know? Quería darles esa información. Espero que les haya gustado ese video. Comenten si ustedes ya están creando contenido y ya están monetizando. Cuánto es el cheque más grande que han recibido y cuál ha sido el menos que han recibido. Like I said, I am a chismosa and I love to know how much we're getting. How much are we getting? How much? Todo eso. Entonces, yo me despido de ustedes. I hope you guys have a fabulous day donde quiera que se encuentren. Okay, bye!